Day, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is Becky Tovis. I am the Crafty Chamarita. Gosh, it seems like forever and a day since I've gone live, and it's been a while. I got sick several weeks ago, and because I have asthma, that coughing is just was so incessant, and I couldn't get rid of it, and I didn't want to be coughing during my live, and it's just going to be so distracting. So pardon me for not being able to go live the last 2 Fridays, but I'm here today and I'm so excited to be showing you one of Stampin' Up's new products. So it's called the Autumn to Remember Scrapbooking Kit. And yes, Stampin' Up has branched into the world of scrapbooking. So I'm so excited to share that with you. But before I talk about the kit, I just wanted to remind everyone that I will be participating in the Christmas Bazaar over at Freedom Park on November the 30th, which is next week, Saturday. And I think that happens from 9 to 4. And I'll be selling a lot of really great stuff as well as some of my retired products. So it's a great chance for you to check out what I have as well as the other vendors. And as always, if you come to my table and you sign in, and you'll get a chance to win some prizes after the event is over. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and switch to my workspace and let me show you the Autumn to Remember kit. So I'm only going to demonstrate 2 of the 6 pages that you'll be making. So if you purchase this kit, it makes 3 two-page spreads. So if you're not familiar with scrapbooking, typically when you scrapbook, you make 2 pages at a time. So when it opens it up, then it will be matching. So what I decided to do is I decided to make a scrapbook of my grandchildren. So I asked my son, who lives in San Diego, to send me some of the autumn or fall pictures that he has of his kids. So we started out with Ella, and then we have other pictures with Rafi. So he came later on. All right. So this is how my scrapbooking pages will look like in the end. So really, you can do whatever you want. I'm so sorry. I know the glare makes it difficult to see. So I'll kind of angle it like that, and hopefully that will decrease the glare a little bit. Right? Yeah, I can see it a lot better. And the kits are so easy. So everything that you need to make the scrapbooking pages comes in the kit. Okay, let me see how I can do this so I can see this while I'm working on it so that I can see what I'm supposed to do. All right, I'm just going to kind of put this there on the side. So what I did was I kind of got everything together to make it easier. So that way you're not watching me tear things apart. So the kit definitely will come with instruction sheets. So the instruction sheets are actually fairly easy to follow. They come with pictures and they come with instructions step by step. So let me kind of show you how the layout is for the scrapbooking kit. So they tell you, like for example, this is what the first page, the first 2 pages are going to look like, the second 2 pages, the third 2 pages. And then what they do is in this bottom corner of the instruction sheet, it tells you what size picture that you need. So for example, project 1, which is what I'm going to be doing today, I need 2 3x4, and notice there's a P here, so that tells me the pictures need to be portrait size. And then I need 1 4x6, and it needs to be landscape, right? And then what they do is they go through and they tell you how to cut the paper. Let me fold this to make it easier. So when you see the instruction sheets like this means that this is the first cut. So you're going to hold the DSP like this, and then you're going to make the first cut like this, and then it tells you the orientation of the paper. So if you look at the picture, instead of being regular size, you're going to turn it to the side for the front. And then wherever you see the asterisk, like this one over here, like 1C has an asterisk next to it, that means you're going to use the back side of the paper. So the back side is going to have that kind of orientation, right? Okay. And then what is so cool, so these are the instructions for the other pages. When you're getting ready to actually put it together, it shows you how the page is supposed to look like in the end. And then it tells you what the pieces are. So as you're cutting the pieces, let me go back to this page over here. As you're cutting the pieces, each piece is labeled. Sorry, let me just take some water. I can feel a cough coming on. You label each piece what it is. Oh, wait, I don't want to do two. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the first page. So even though you have one DSP here, the projects, the papers they're going to be used for different projects. So label them after you cut them. Okay. So of this 12 by 12, I'm only going to use this one piece for the first project because I'm only going to be working on project 1. Okay. And then when you're getting ready to put it down, it tells you step by step what to assemble. Okay. And then it also tells you what the pieces, the name of the pieces are. Okay. All right. So let me put this aside. So what I did was when I cut it, I labeled the pieces with my Post-it. That way I don't lose track. When Sarah Douglas did this, she did a live kind of showing us how to put it together. It was very helpful for me. She just wrote it on the back of the paper. But because the paper is kind of dark, later on, I tried doing that in the beginning, but later on I discovered that the pencil mark that I was making was a little bit too light and I couldn't see it very well. So it worked better for me to use these Post-its. So when I'm done, I'm definitely not going to throw these Post-its away. I'm going to recycle them so that the next time I need them, they'll be all ready to go. Okay? All right. So let me put this aside. I hope I don't mix these things up. It starts off by saying, let's go ahead and use the old olive background. Now this paper has 2 sides. I don't know if you could see it. There's a darker side and a lighter side. I like the darker side, so I'm going to opt to use this side here. Okay, and then we're going to use this designer series paper in the front. Now the cutting instructions earlier told me to go ahead and cut this down to 11.5 by 11.5. So it's really going to be a front for this page. Okay, let me take my Post-it and put it over there. And I'm just going to use my regular Tombow glue because this is my adhesive of choice. And because I know it's going to be covered by other things, I'm just going to put glue all the way around. Oh, I just realized my glue is running out. And I'm going to lay it down. That looks even, I hope. Okay. All right. And then based on the instructions, I'm going to lay this piece down. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one thing. So before we even begin to put the other pieces down, it said to, what were the instructions? I forgot what the exact words were, but basically you're going to make a banner on the bottom of this. So I'm just going to cut it in the middle like this. And then I'm going to cut it from the corner to the middle. Now, some people, if you want to be precise, you can measure it. But you know me, I just like to eyeball things, right? Preciseness is not the name of the game. And then what I did beforehand is I already did that cut with these. So it's going to go in this order. Let me remove my Post-its here. Oh, luckily I have a new glue here. Let me just open this. That way the glue will flow a little bit easier. We don't have to wait for it to get to the bottom of the thing. So before I glue it down, I'm going to make sure that I have the placement where I want it. So it's going to be flush with the top of the designer series paper that's behind it. I just want to make sure that there's like a evenly spaced border for the papers, and that looks like it's going to be just about right. Okay, and I'm just going to put my Tombow glue here. I'm going to make sure it's aligned to the top. And it's aligned on the bottom. That looks good. And I'm going to do the same for the other two pieces. Now I'm only showing you the first 2-page layout because it's going to take a while. So if you are wondering how long it's going to take to put together the entire kit, depending on how precise you are, I think it's probably going to take you about 6 hours. So if you break it down into the 2-page spread, then you can get it done in about 2 hours. It'll take about 2 hours to do the 2 pages. Okay. All right, that's going to go here, and then this piece is going to go right in the middle. This is piece 1E. I'm going to remove that. Oh, look, it's a good thing I looked because the orientation is actually this way for this piece. So when I first started paper crafting, I started off as a scrapbooker before I became a card maker. So I'm really happy to go back to my first love. And there are so many scrapbooks that I need to make. I promised my son that I'd make a scrapbook for my granddaughter's first year, and I haven't done that yet. But really, it's because he hasn't given me the pictures. So that's the excuse, and I'm sticking to it, right? Sounds like a good excuse. And this is just the coolest thing. So if you are wondering, do you need to have the pictures already printed for you to do the scrapbook? And the answer is no, you don't. Because Stampin' Up! Has these things called photo placeholders. And so you can put it where the picture is going to be. How cool is that, right? All right, so I'm going to do that here, and I'm just going to use my washi tape. Washi tape is great because it has a temporary stick to it, but when you take it off, it doesn't tear what it's stuck to. I'm just going to kind of roll this around so that I get both pieces here. And I'm going to make sure it's centered. And it's going to go like that. Okay. All right, my page kind of fell a little bit. I want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. Okay. Now for this next piece, I'm going to put this like this, right? But I want to make sure that when I do it, it's not going to interfere with my pictures, right? This is very, very thin, and it's very flimsy. So be careful when you're handling this part here. Okay. All right. I'm going to put glue here, and I hope I don't get glue all over the place. I'm just going to put light circles or light dots. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if you could see this, but each of these pieces have the number behind them. So like this is for project number 1. Isn't that cool? So you don't have to guess where each of the pieces goes because they're all numbered. So cool, right? I tell you, Stampin' Up! Makes putting these projects together so easy. It's so easy. And when you're done, you'll have you have beautiful scrapbooking pages. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get all of the outer areas so that they're not flimsy. And if the glue does end up going outside, I have my eraser, so I can just erase it. Okay, that looks good. I want to make sure it doesn't interfere with my pictures. So it's actually going to be a little bit higher than I intended, and that's because I put this piece here higher than it's supposed to be, but it's okay. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to know except for me, right? And if you're finding that some of the pieces are popping up a little bit, just go back and put some glue. Okay, that should do it. All right, and then what we're going to do next is we have some arrows. So I already pre-punched these arrows out. Sorry, they're all on the side here. And they're going to go like this. So that one, see, it has the number in the back. So cool, right? Hi, Eb. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Trine. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for saying it's a cute design, Eb, but it's not my design. It's Stampin' Up. And I know that you have your grandbaby, so it'll be perfect for you to document their things that happen in their life. I should just keep this here so I can put the glue on it and it won't leak all over the place. I'm just going to do this 2 at a time. And I think I can tell you this now, even though it hasn't been released yet, but Stampin' Up's going to come up with another scrapbooking kit in January, and I got a peek look at it. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It really is. And so my goal for 2025 is I am going to be doing a scrapbooking class every month. So in addition to my card making class, I'm going to do a scrapbooking class. Because, I tell you, when you take the time to put a scrapbook together and later on in life and you look for it, it's just, the value of it is immeasurable, really. Because you took the time to document these important events, right? And when you look back, it's definitely something that you can be proud of. So this lady, when she was talking about scrapbooking, she mentioned that one of her elderly aunties had passed away. And she was basically, her husband had passed away and they didn't have any children. And so as part of the funeral plans, they needed to know like the date of birth, things like that. And nobody had that information. But when she opened up the scrapbook that her mom had put together, it had all of the information because the mother put down the information next to their pictures. And I thought, you know what? That's such a great idea. All right, so the main parts of this is done. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to get the stickers because it comes with stickers. I'm trying to not make sure I don't tear it. So these are all stickers. Very pretty, right? The colors are gorgeous. So here it says Golden Leaves Autumn Breeze. And I'm just going to stick it right down here. Okay, and there's also a piece with the snail on it to put here. The sticker, it's this piece here. another sticker piece. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. And so this is really meant for you to put your writing. So whatever you want to put here, that's where it goes. So you can document that whatever you want to. So this is it. The page is done. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one pink piece up here. And I know I tore it out, but you know how it's often the case, things get lost in my workspace. So I'll just go back and put this in. See, so that's the only difference between this page and that one. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one more thing. This sticker. So this sticker is actually 12 inches long. So it's going to be a half an inch longer than you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down and I'm going to eyeball it when I cut it. I know my sister's watching right now. She's going to cringe. I've done one once. It was really fun to do. I look forward to scrapbooking class. Yes, scrapbooking is so much fun. So this goes down here in the bottom. And I'm going to run it all the way across. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit of a flap here because, like I mentioned, it's in the picture. It doesn't have it going all the way through, so I'm just trying to follow it. Now my cut's a little bit crooked, so let me straighten that out. Well, I think I took over some of the paper, but it's okay. Yeah, so my recommendation is maybe cut this part over here before you put it down, right? So it's just a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be. Now I've got glue oozing out from the sides over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my eraser. This is another thing that I mentioned in my Tuesday my Tuesday tip. I absolutely love this eraser because if any of the glue oozes out, it's very easy to remove it. Okay? So make sure you have one of these. All right, so that's page 1. And let's move to page 2. Let me show you how page 2 is going to look. It's going to look like this. Okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way. Make sure you're using the same side of the green. Oh, now that this is done, let me put this out. Now that this is done, let me show you the difference. See how this green looks the same, but when you flip it over, this green is slightly different. It's brighter. So make sure that when you put it, can you see the difference? Right? When I put it side by side. So make sure you're using the same side when you're putting together your project. Okay. So I'm going to start off by using the like the wood grain part over here. And this is cut to 11.5 by 11.5. I pre-cut this. This is actually what we did when I had my scrapbooking class on Saturday. So we were able to put these 2 pages together. And I pre-cut everything for everyone. So it made it a lot easier. Okay. And I'm just going off my sample. I'm not looking at the instructions because, I followed the instructions the first time. So it's going to go like this. And there is a particular order for this because when you do the pages, you want it to match the page next to it, right? So it's going to look like this. So see how it has the Cajun craze here, and then the old olive, and then the animals, right? You want it to be symmetrical. That's the word I want it to say. So scrapbooking is all about the symmetry. So the 2 pages really should be related. See, stop eyeballing it. Yeah, I said I was going to measure it. Maybe, Trine, for the next one, I'll measure it. Just to make sure that the cuts are accurate. Okay, so this one's a little bit too much, so I'm going to move it over slightly before I start gluing things down. And I'm going to make sure it's straight here in the top. It's aligned to the top and it's aligned to the side. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the other two pieces. The colors in this are just so beautiful. They really are. Now you're probably thinking, wow, Becky, that's not going to take you 2 hours to do. Like, of course not, because I have a sample that I'm following. But when I put it together, it did take me a little bit of time because I was just learning the sample and how to do it. Now it's going to go here. And then we have the long piece. And it's going to have this orientation to it. Remember, if the other page it had this one, for this page it's going to have this orientation. Kind of looks like Christmas trees a little bit. And I'm not going to make it go so high this time. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to press it down. Now, I don't have the pictures for these 2 pages, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the placeholder. So the it's going to look like this. And then it's going to have a little bit of a place to journal there. So I'm just going to use my washi tape for the placeholder. When I was in, gosh, I think it was San Diego, I think I was at. I went to Daiso. If you've never been to Daiso, if you don't have one near you, go, because I swear there's so many cute gadgets there. So when I was in Daiso, I got this dispenser for washi tape. So this is what I use. Makes it so easy. Okay, and I'm going to put that here. It's not going to be aligned with the paper. And then this one is going to use a punch out. And it looks like it came from this paper. So I'm just going to punch it out. This is a little bit thin, so be careful. Anytime you're doing the punch outs, be careful when you take it out so that you don't rip it. And see, project 1, it has it in the back. Okay. Now for this one, I think I'm going to use, I'm not going to use the glue because I don't want to leave any bumps because there's going to be writing here. So instead, I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal because then it'll be flatter and it won't interfere with the writing. And it's going to go like that. And I think there's a sticker. Sometimes it's a sticker, sometimes it's a punch. I mean a punch out. So this one, Good Times, here goes right there. Okay, and then it also has another sticker, Leaves Abound, from all around. And it goes here in the bottom part of the page. So in the sample, it has also different stickers to put in. It has this one and this one. I'm not going to put it in because I think it looks a little bit too busy. So I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to put in these punch outs. And they look like this. So it looks like wood grain. It's very pretty. So it calls for a tree. Calls for a tree. And it calls for this piece here. And then a bigger one here. Now in the picture, it has it make it go straight, but you know what? I'm going to change it a little bit. Sorry. The after effects of being sick. I'm still coughing a little bit, so I always have to make sure that I have water near me. And just because to make it easier, I think what I'm going to do for this one is I use my Stampin' Seal Plus. You can see a little bit. I'm just going to tuck it behind it. Put it there and then put it here. And is there anything else? Oh yes, one more thing. So for this part over here, I'm going to use my T-square because I'm going to have to put the words autumn on the top. And I want to make sure that it's straight. Oh, there's an arrow. I'll put the arrow in later. Okay, so I'm just going to take out my letters and I'm going to use the T-square here and I'm going to align it like this. That way I can ensure that it's straight. If you've never tried working with the T-square, I recommend that you get one. And this one is the one that I have. I got it off of Amazon and it's only 12 inches long, but it works perfectly for what I need for crafting. I do the same thing. And I think what I'm going to do, oh, did I move it a little bit? Is I'm going to complete this scrapbook, a blank one, the kit, and I am going to have it available at the craft fair on the 30th. So if you want a 6-page spread ready to go with your pictures, then come check out my table. And if you're not on Guam and you want to do this yourself, which I highly, highly recommend, then get the kit. Okay, what did I use? Where'd I go? Where'd my pad go? Oh, here it is. I just want to make sure I don't get glue in places it's not supposed to be. I'm not using my Stampin' Seal Plus for this because there's some really skinny parts. And it's going to go like that. I can see glue oozing out. Okay, that's what the eraser is for. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, and let me show you what the 2 pages look like. This is how it looks like without the pictures. This is page 1. It'll help if I make it face the right way, right? This is page 1. And this is page 2. Isn't that gorgeous? Right? Gorgeous. So pretty. Absolutely love this. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as I mentioned to you before, these kits are available from Stampin' Up. I hope that you guys either like my video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends. And if you are interested in receiving my newsletter, let me know and I will add you to it. Okay. See. Okay. All right. I thought someone, okay. I saw an emoji there. So I just want to make sure I responded to everything. So thank you for watching. Whether you're watching me live or you watched me on the replay, I appreciate that you took some time out of your schedule to spend it with me. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.